Hey, what's up, guys? I just got off work, so this is going to be a very short live stream. I'm so tired. I have tomorrow off, which is great. So this is just going to be a live stream from now to the time I drive home, which is 5-10 minutes, if that. I won't start driving yet just because I want to get out some of my main points, main takeaways. You guys already know what this is about. And please like the video if you're watching it now. Please like the video. But guys, I don't know about you, but I am breathing a huge sigh of relief. The Kavanaugh is confirmed, and at least for now, we can kind of put this behind us. I mean, there's obviously going to be fallout and who knows, riots, protests. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we do, but we don't know the extent of it. But as far as Kavanaugh is concerned, I think things will kind of normal out for him. You know, I said a little prayer for him and his family this morning. I said a prayer for all the senators and everyone in Capitol Hill on both sides, honestly, for the Democrats too, just because I didn't really know what to expect. You know, with the threats of violence, the rhetoric has been crazy, and for the most part, no one on the left has called it out. They just kind of sit back and let it happen. So, you know, I really prayed that there wasn't going to be any insane violence or anything. And so it's great. It sounds like there was just a few screeching protesters that got escorted out, and he won 50-48. Man, I mean, guys, I don't know what to say other than this man's life was almost ruined. Like, this close to being ruined by some allegations. And people, regardless of your party, should have come together instead of dividing along party lines and stood up for what was right. I mean, I can't even imagine what would happen if they bullied him into withdrawing his nomination, or if they bullied Republicans enough to where they would sway their vote against Kavanaugh. That would have caused a huge issue there too. So I'm grateful that he was confirmed. That was the right thing. The right thing happened, right? So it feels good. But when I think about the fallout of this, I guess I should take my seatbelt off. I'm not driving yet. The fallout, guys, like the big takeaway, I think is this is gonna be looked at in U.S. history as a pivotal moment where we kind of decided what direction we were going to go as a country. You know, it was kind of a fork in the road, and obviously it was a pivotal moment in terms of the future. The next generation of the Supreme Court is going to have a conservative majority, thank God. But you know, this is the craziest time to be alive, for better or for worse, depending on your view. I personally think it's great, just because I'm seeing the best president in my lifetime. I'm seeing, you know, the world having a consciousness awakening, you know, a rise up. A lot of people are starting to recognize their abilities as individuals, you know, sovereign nations. People are starting to really gel together. But there are a lot of people who are still kind of floating in the ether, not really sure which way to go. And we've all been there. For those of us that walked away, you know, there's conservatives on one side, and then you have liberals kind of in the middle. And then on the other side of liberals is the radical left. And the radical left is what has caused this. This is the monster. And the liberals, you know, I got to call the liberals out. And see, I need to correct myself, because I noticed that I've been using liberal and leftist kind of interchangeably, because to be honest, I didn't really know the difference between the two. I just figured it's all one side. It's leftist, it's liberal, it's whatever. But there actually is a difference between leftists and liberals, and I'll explain what I mean. So liberals are the common sense, you know, they have clear thinking. They just they just lean to the left. They have Democrats, they vote Democrat. And then there's leftists, and these are the far left, you know, radical, screeching, blocking traffic, social justice. Those people, they're the ones who have hijacked the Democrat Party. And now I think I see this more than ever before with this Kavanaugh situation, because, you know, I can honestly say, and I'm grateful for this, I don't have any leftist friends. I don't. I can honestly say I don't have any friends who would go take off work, block traffic, threaten public officials, threaten their lives, dox their information, put it online, threaten violence. I don't have any friends or family that are like that. But they still disagree with me on politics and they don't like Trump. So those people I would classify as liberals. The leftists are the ones we're seeing on TV. And the reason why I'm calling out the liberals a little bit is because they didn't necessarily create this monster, but they allowed this thing to fester, right? Because right after Trump won, you saw the Trump derangement syndrome. And we're seeing it again with Kavanaugh. It's like 2016. It's like deja vu. You're seeing the sky is falling, Chicken Little. Oh my God, the world is on fire. Brett Kavanaugh is going to dial back civil rights. We're going back to the 1860s. Just this hyperbole in this very damaging, toxic rhetoric that goes unchecked by the common sense, classical liberals. They're not saying anything about it. And they have not said anything about it since Trump was elected. So they let it fester and grow into this big monster. And now if they try to stand up, they would get steamrolled by it. But that's what happens. The radical leftists, which I truly believe is all George Soros funded. George Soros is the true existential threat. He wants to take down the United States. And that's why I say that it is about us uniting as Americans first, right? The average American doesn't want open borders. The average American does not agree with this fascist, authoritarian, militant, leftist propaganda. But the thing is, they wrote that off as if it's just fringe elements. It's not fringe. It has bubbled up to the top. It has hijacked the Democrat Party, and now it has become the Socialist Party because it went unchecked, because no one said anything about it. You have leftists that are running for office. I mean, Florida is a conservative state, and there is a George Soros candidate running for governor. George Soros funded. He wants open borders. He wants to abolish ICE. He wants to roll back the Second Amendment. I mean, he's obviously not going to be able to do it because it's the United States constitutional right, but he can make it harder to attain guns here and enforce a gun registry. There's just a lot that's going on where a conservative state like Florida has a socialist governor candidate. And see, this is because the liberals in the room have not spoken up. The liberals in the room have not said anything. They just kind of sat on their hands and let it happen. I get it. They're mad that Trump didn't win, that Trump won. They're pissed Hillary lost. They don't like the direction of the country. But they're not checking all these insane lunatics. And it's not just these few social justice movements. It's the mainstream media. It's the blue check marks. It's these celebrities, these ivory tower celebrities that are just a megaphone for this radical shit. They're the ones that's called for violence. They're the ones called for censoring conservatives. They're the ones encouraging threats and intimidation. Like, again, the average American does not want that. And that's why I believe now more than ever before, we are going to see a tremendous red wave as a result of this. Because it's not just the activists. It's not just the blue check marks. It's the mainstream media that keeps it going 24/7. It's always about Trump. And more people are seeing it every single day, especially now with Kavanaugh, with 1 month to go in the midterms. I mean, the Democrats really screwed the pooch on this one, which I'm grateful for because, quite frankly, they are disgusting human beings. They are disgusting. They drug Brett Kavanaugh and his entire family through the mud. They put them through hell, all because they have a bloodlust for power. That is what it boils down to, power. The Democrat Party wants power, and nobody has checked them. They let it go and go and go, and it grew into this big monster, and now we have to slay the dragon. And that is why Donald Trump got elected. So it should come as absolutely no shock to any liberal watching this. Donald Trump will be reelected in 2020. There will be a red wave. These Democrats are going to get voted out. They have shown their hand. They have shown their hand. They have dissolved and become into something else. This social justice, this radical feminist movement, this is all toxic to America. That's why we need to bind together as American citizens and stand up to this fascist, dictatorial, violent, unhinged lunacy that we're seeing. Like, who are these human beings? Whatever happened to civil discourse? Whatever happened to just having a discussion? Why are people violent? Why are people trying to shut down free speech? Why are people screaming? Have you heard some of these satanic sounding chants? I don't even know. I heard some crazy shit earlier on today, and they're saying all this, no, no, hey, hey, no, no, Kavanaugh must go. No borders, no walls, no USA at all. Really? What, like, for my liberal friends out there watching, which one of you liberals can actually say that that's music to your ears? You know, for the people that are floating around in the ether, I feel like the dust is going to settle, and a lot of it's going to settle on the right, because contrary to what those polls are saying, like, oh yeah, Democrats have a 70% chance of having a blue wave. There's not going to be a blue wave. There is not a chance there's going to be a blue wave, especially because we saw what just happened for the past 3 weeks, how they weaponized the Me Too movement, how they've, you know, sharpened it into a political tool, used it to attack and assault their political adversaries. They saw that, and now we don't know what the blowback's going to be from Kavanaugh being confirmed. We don't know, is it going to be violent? I really hope, I'm praying that there's no violence. I'm praying that people just go home, just relax, just chill, and I'm praying that, you know, somehow we have to get back control of the overall narrative. And it's going to be difficult, because it is a great deal of power on that can keep this going. You have the mainstream media, they won't shut up about it. All those talking heads, all those blue check marks, all the celebrities, all these women going out, getting on camera and painting all these doomsday scenarios like this is it, America's over. I feel like this is where the liberals that have good sense can come in and say, no, it's not. Go home, take an Advil. You're not you when you're hungry. Go home, eat a Snickers, fall asleep. It's going to be okay. This is not the end of the world. Because they said the same thing when Trump got elected. So you have to eventually learn from it. It's not going to be this end of the world scenario. It's really not. It's going to save America. We're going to look back and say, thank God that we have a conservative majority on the Supreme Court, because for the last, I don't know how long, there has been judicial activism going on that's been designed to take down America. I wish I was better at articulating this last night when I did my live stream, but I was so tired, guys. I wanted to talk more about cultural Marxism and how that is the manifestation in society right now. The cultural Marxism that comes on the conveyor belt from the time we're born to the time we go through elementary, middle school, high school, to college. It is forced down your throat that capitalism is the root of all evil, and that Marxism is the way to a utopian society. And so you have a bunch of people who feel that there is some boogeyman out there, aka the white man, and that they must be taken down by any means necessary. Sacrifice whoever, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's Judge Kavanaugh, doesn't matter if it's a politician, it doesn't matter who. If they are in the way, they will get steamrolled on the way to this Marxist utopia. It's because the baby boomers and the baby boomers' parents, their Marxism was the working class versus the proletariat or whatever. And it didn't work because Americans had strong values. They valued Western culture. They valued Christianity and faith. And they had good values. And, you know, they had the family unit. But what they did with our generation, millennials and Gen Xers, I guess, yeah, Gen Xers and millennials, what they did was they ushered in cultural Marxism. So they started purging our society of traditional elements. And now you're seeing all this, and this is how Donald Trump got elected, because of cultural Marxism, because people got fed up with traditionalism going down the tubes. Right? Think about it. They wanted people to stop saying Merry Christmas, and, you know, they got God out of the school. They started saying, they attacked Christianity. They wanted to push for a secular society. And, you know, it got rid of the morals. And then you started seeing all these other things happening. And now look where we are. They're talking to kids about pedophilia and transgenderism. It's gotten way too far. It's gone way too far. And so the backlash for that was President Trump. And now we have Brett Kavanaugh. So now that provides some stability. You know, the universe is balance. It's yin and yang. I think of it as like a balance. It's like a scale. So back in the day, you had the Christian Crusades, and people felt justified. You know, the religious right was justified in what they were doing, cramming Christianity down everyone's throat. They were justified, and then the left came back and said, wait, we need a little bit more balance. Not everything is it's crazy. But then that went too far under Obama, with all the social justice movements and the pushing for everything. And, you know, we need everyone to look different, but they must think the same. We have to do something about it. And this is my call to liberals to wake up, see what the left has become. You need to own your shit. You need to own it. You need to check those people on your side. And we need some changes. We have to do something about our public education system. But it may be too late for you guys because, like I said, George Soros has funded candidates all across the country. And despite George Soros dumping money into all these protesters and activism, America still won. So this is a huge win. This is a huge to you, George Soros, because America was saved by us having a conservative, constitutional Supreme Court justice appointed by President Trump. All right, so now I guess I'll drive home. Thank you guys for super chatting. I'm not sure how many people super chatted, but I really appreciate it. I got to get home. I am so tired, guys. I'm exhausted. And quite frankly, you guys are going to get so much coverage of this. This is the most people I think I've ever had watching. 78 people watching, 58 likes. I would appreciate it if you guys could give me some more likes. Give me some likes. Share this. If you're new to the channel, thank you for subscribing. If you're just watching now, please subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you can see my videos coming up. Tomorrow, I will be doing a live stream on Truther Talks channel. We're going to be talking about the red wave. There's going to be talk about Kavanaugh. There's going to be talk about just the state of affairs in America. But we can all breathe a sigh of relief. No matter what side of the Kavanaugh controversy you're on, at least that part of it is over. And now I can just go back to normal Trump derangement syndrome, mad at everything Trump does, mad at how he blows his nose, mad at how he shakes hands and does this and all that, whatever it is. We can get back to that normal. I miss the normal Trump derangement syndrome where we can just laugh and say, hi, you guys are silly, crazy. Instead of trying to ruin a man's life. It's over. It's great. Kavanaugh's been confirmed. Congratulations to Brett Kavanaugh. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one. As soon as I figure out how to close this.